Good morning, Arsene. First of all, can we clarify your team news, please?
Well, Coughlin is out because he has a hamstring problem from the Chelsea game, and everybody else has to be assessed today individually, but there's no major injury. We could have Podolski back in the squad because he's back to full training today, and maybe Chamberlain back in the squad because he's has been sick, but he maybe will go out today and practice.
And in terms of the weekend game, actually talking about Chelsea and Manchester City, how have your team coped with those defeats? Because they've played well in parts of the games.
We are, of course, very disappointed because we put a lot of effort into these games, but we missed the start of the game, and therefore came out with 0 points. And the position we are in now is a bit back to the wall because we have to respond. And I'm confident that we will, but the team was very down after the Chelsea game.
So it's important to get back on the horse straight away because this is your game in hand. It's a London derby on the back of 2 defeats. It's a big game for you, isn't it?
It's a very important game for us, of course, and we have to transform the potential we have shown in the 2 games into points, and that's a good opportunity tomorrow to do it.
And just lastly from me, the game at Upton Park this season, was that one of your best performances?
Away from home, yes. Was one of our better performances. We had some good games away from home, I believe. Even on Sunday, you cannot say we had a bad game, but we missed the start of the game. But overall, away from home, we have been most of the time. I think we had one really bad game was at Manchester United. Apart from that, we were quite good away from home.
Arsenal, you talk about starting slowly on Sunday, and the Arsenal teams of days gone by, of Adams and Keown and Henry and Vieira, they would have understood how much it meant to the fans and to Arsenal going to Chelsea. Do these players care as much, do you think, as the players that you've had before?
Yes, of course. They care as much.
You don't think there's any question
if
of
not
their
more
commitment? Because there has been a lot of criticism, as you said, about the way that they started the match, the first half performance.
Well, yes, people have the right to criticize when the games don't go as well as you want, but I can show you games of the players you spoke about. I can tell you some bad starts as well. Believe me. And I can show you some goals where you can see they were not completely untouchable, so that happened to them as well.
There was a story in the papers this morning that last night you called the players in for a meeting to give them a real talk about how to turn
I
the season
don't talk
around.
about what happens inside. We live in a world where you do not have to come into our sleeping room to know exactly what happens. We have to inform you, but don't forget that your job is first to judge us, assess us on what we do on the football pitch, not every day what's happening inside. And I think it becomes a little bit ridiculous now that every single moment of a football club has to be absolutely public and explained. We have to stand up for our bad performances, but not for everything we do inside the club.
Let me ask you about some transfer news then. You said as soon as the Theo Walcott deal was done that you'd start bringing some players in. Ideally, how many players and in what sort of positions are you looking for?
We look only for players. It's not the number that counts, but the quality.
Mm-hmm. Is Johan Gourcuff one of those players, perhaps?
I don't give you any name.
Because there's been talk that Lyon have offered him to you. Is that not true?
I don't come out on that, because it would put Leo in a bad position and the player as well. You have to respect that the player has a contract somewhere and is playing, and as long as the transfer is not done for anybody, it's better not to talk about it. Because it doesn't work, he has to continue to play where he is.
Arsene, 16 games left. How worrying for you is it, the gap between yourself and 4th place at the moment?
What is worrying is just that we do not win the big games, and that at the moment we do not get the results we want. That is more worrying than the difference of points. The difference of points is mathematically not dramatic, but the consistency of our performances within the game is that what's worrying. When you see us in the first half, us in the second half, it's difficult to believe that we are exactly the same team. So that is more worrying for me.
3 home games coming up, of course. How crucial do you feel it is that you get maximum points from?
I don't know. What is important for us is to win the next game.